the sin was Mocha and Billy Tattoo. Okay, so we're just walking through.
The Candaces of Ethiopia are the ancestors of the week. Ashe. Hotep to the servant leader scholars of Sankofa Freedom Academy Charter School. Shem Hotep, Dr. Maya. And now it's time for the magic question. Sankofa, how y'all feeling? Fantastic, terrific, great, all day long, all day long. Bump, bump, bump. Whoa. And now it's time for the morning libations. We ask that you please stand strong, please stand firm, and the firm on the layer. Please remove all non-religious, non-cultural headwear, outerwear. Stand strong, stand firm. We ask for permission from an elder to begin. Permission has been granted in advance. And now we will begin the morning libations. Ashe. We first pour libations to the gift of life, love, and learning, and we say Ashe. We pour libations to our African ancestors who marched out of Africa and populated the entire world and gave the gift of humanity. Ashe. We pour libations to those mighty African ancestors who birthed civilization, high culture, the arts, and the sciences. Ashe. We pour libations to the mighty nations of Africa. We pour libations to the Yoruba, the Akan, the Igbo, the Wolof, the Hausa. We pour libations to the Zulu. We pour libations to those nations named and unnamed. We pour libations to Dagara. We pour libations to Kemet, to Nubia, those nations known and unknown. We pour libations and we say Ashe. Let us again honor, let us again give thanks and praise to mothers of our mothers. Let us again honor grandmothers of our grandmothers, mothers of our ancestors. Ashe. Let us give thanks and libations to our ancestors who honored and exalted the female representation of reading, writing, arithmetic, and architecture in the Neteru of Shashet. To Shashet we pour libations. Ashe. Let us give libations to our African ancestors who exalted the female Neteru representation of Mayat, truth, justice, righteousness, reciprocity, harmony, balance, and order. To those African ancestors, we give libations and we say Ashe. Hetep Ferris, who founded the 4th dynasty with her husband Senefru. She is mother of a dynasty that lasted 100 years and mother of the Pyramid Age that lasted for centuries. It is her sons who built the Great Pyramids at Giza, her descendants Khufu, Khafra, and Menkaura. To Queen Mother Hetep Ferris, we pour libations and we say Ashe. Give libations to Queen Mother Tetesheri. It is she who birthed the 18th dynasty, a dynasty that lasted for 250 years. We give libations to Queen Mother Tetesheri. She birthed the warrior pharaoh who defeated the Hyksos, Seqenenratayo. Queen Mother Hetesheri, it is her daughter, Ahotep, who was given the Golden Fly Award for valor and battle. We give libations to Queen Mother Tetesheri and to her daughter, Queen Mother Ahotep. We give libations to the mothers of the 18th dynasty and we say Ashe.
The Candaces of Kush. When we study history and great people who contributed to our world, our women warriors and rulers are often overlooked. From the 3rd century BCE to the 2nd century CE, the empire of Kush is ruled by a line of independent female rulers called the Candaces, or in their traditional language of Kush, Kentucky. Ameneraz, Ameneshekete, Nawitma, and Malekwebar were 4 queens well known as Candaces. Different from their Egyptian counterparts, the Candaces had absolute rule instead of the power coming from their husbands. During the period known as the Meroitic period, Cush thrived, and it was often thought of as a nation never ruled by a male. The word Kentucky means queen mother, so the title was not taken lightly. If a woman was a Candace, she was able to influence the line of succession and consolidate her power. The Candace often played a role in the coronation of the new king. The Candaces are well known for refusing Alexander's entry into Cush and deterring him on one of his military campaigns, causing him to overtake a weaker Egypt. The strength of the Candace rulers also appeared in history as they were able to thwart the Roman conquest of Cush. Using brilliant battle tactics, Amaniras attacked Petronius during Rome's punitive invasions of Napata. They waited until most of his troops were gone off to battle, then Amaniras attacked the army. When Petronius returned, he found his mighty army in a standoff with a nation they considered weaker. The standoff lasted until Augustus Caesar and the Amaniras were able to settle on signing a peace treaty. Over a period of 1,250 years, the kingdom of Cush was amazing and certainly one of the greatest, if not the greatest civilization of all its time. The title of Candace lasted for 500 years, allowing Cush to become the great civilization it was under female rule. The Candaces set a standard for excellence and stability. A female-dominated society with a female warrior class is not talked about much in the pages of history, especially a purely African civilization. The Candaces were brave, brilliant, and influential. They were an example of how a strong spirit would not be held back by sexism and male domination. Women, no matter their race or creed, can learn a lot from the Candaces. Women who successfully ruled the kingdom and inspired Egyptian culture and prestige. To all of the Candaces and all of the female rulers of Cush, thank you for your brilliance and courage, which helped create greatness in the form of a kingdom. These women are an example of greatness of the female spirit. To all of the Candaces, we proudly stand on your shoulder.
To Queen Mother Ya Asantewa of the Ashanti Empire, born 1840, died 1921 to become an ancestor. It is she who told the men of the Ashanti nation that if you refused to go to war, that she would go to war with all of the women in the Ashanti Empire until the last of them fell. To Queen Mother Ya Asantewa, we pour libations and we say Ashe. To our ancestor Mary Prince, born 1788, became an ancestor in 1833. Born into slavery in Bermuda, she would escape from slavery while in Britain, and she wrote her History of Mary Prince, and she would help spark the abolitionist anti-slavery movement. To Mary Prince, we pour libations and we say Ashe. To the Black Peruvian Maria Elena Moyano, who was an activist, community organizer, feminist fighter for the rights of women, fighter for the rights of poor and working class people. To Maria Elena Moyano, we pour libations and we say Ashe. Just like Maria Moyano, Marielle Franco also gave her life fighting for the cause of her people, the Afro-Brazilian, who was a politician, feminist, human rights activist, fighter for the poor people, for the blacks and the oppressed people in the favelas of Brazil. We give libations to Marielle Franco and we say Ashe. Let us always remember our mothers and mothers' mothers who built the civil rights movement. Without them, there would have been no movement. Let us honor them, although they are left out of the pages of history. Let us give libations to Fannie Lou Hamer, Ashe, Ella Baker, Ashe, the likes of Dorothy Height, Daisy Bates, Septima Clark, many others. Let us give libations to our mothers and mothers' mothers. Ashe. We ask that you take a moment to honor the ancestors in your personal families. Please call the names of the ancestors in your personal families. I called the names of Mama Nettie Mae Williams and Papa Frank Washington. Please call the names of the ancestors in your personal families. Ashe. And let's give affirmation to our leadership. Affirmation to the upper school coordinator of Sankofa, Sister Tamika. Ashe. And affirmation to our COO and co-founder, Brother Issa Clark. Ashe. And we give an affirmation to Dr. Mama Aisha Imani, founder, CEO, and head of School of Sankofa, founder of the Ujima Friends Peace Center, executive director of Imhotep Institute Charter High School, and one of the founders of the Freedom School Movement of Philadelphia. To Dr. Mama, we give affirmation and we say, Ashe. We ask that this libation is accepted with all good intention. We ask that it is not offensive. We ask that this libation is understood as a cultural and educational practice of African-centered schools and of African people. And we say, Ashe. We ask that you walk in the footsteps of our ancestors so that the unborn will walk in your footsteps. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. And now it's time for announcements and recognitions. The principle of the month is Heshima, and Heshima means respect. The Mayat virtue of the month is order. Sid Maya would like to give a recognition to Kalima Oten for her hard work and attention to details in her assignments, especially in her free write. Sid Maya says that Kalima went above and beyond in demonstrating Nia by spreading information about the living conditions of the people in Sudan. Ashe.
We are the servant leaders and intellectual warriors
of Sankofa Freedom Academy Charter School.
We shall always remember the sacrifices of our ancestors.
Those who were taken from their land and those whose land was taken from them.
Because we stand on the shoulders of the mighty people,
we shall build mighty shoulders for others to stand.
We pledge to develop good habits of the mind, body, and spirit.
We pledge to continue the legacy of the freedom fighters before us.
We understand that we exist because others have made it possible for us.
Because others have made it possible for us,
we will make it possible for others.
every day and everywhere.
We shall learn so that we can teach, and we shall teach so that we can change the world.
We are
Sankofa Freedom Academy Charter School,
working to restore excellence in scholarship,
culture, and community.
One heart,
One love,
one earth,
one people,
Harambe.
And now it is time for the moment of silence. The moment of silence is used to reflect on the day. The moment of silence begins now. Ashe. Go forth with purpose. Have a great day.